Okay, so before we take it apart, let's take a look at this Apple Desktop Bus keyboard here. This is presumably the one that came with the Macintosh II. Yeah, I can't really remember. It also came with, let's look at this, a Apple keyboard cover, so that your keyboard doesn't get dust in it. They don't make those anymore, I'll tell you that right now. And I guess if you want to put the display back on the Mac, you can use the whole dust cover here. I guess. I don't know what side it's supposed to be on. So there. You want to make sure your Macintosh II doesn't get any dust on it. You can do it in style. Or at least retro Apple style. They don't really like rainbows anymore. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can go ahead and, I guess, defile its innards. Somebody's going to yell at me for that. So yeah, here's the keyboard. Very odd decision on some of these key placements. We've got the caps lock key in the control. I don't even think there is a control button on this entire keyboard. Oh, there it is. It's in the caps lock place. They just traded places. This actually is a physical toggle. It's not like a software or, I guess, hardware on the machine toggle. This is just literally, it's just physically holding down a button. Which really isn't that smart because the actual key bandwidth for the Apple Desktop Bus, you know, this is so low. Remember on my Quake video, I couldn't even do this without it, you know, not being able to shoot, because then the mouse button wouldn't work. So, yeah, there's that. The tilde key. Some people say tilde. Some people say other things. I think that's the way you say it. Of course, the command key is in, you know, pretty an okay position. Option key, you know, predictable. Tab, escape. Of course, it's one of those goofy keyboards that has all the arrow keys wrong. That's why I had to play Tetris like this, which, you know, I appreciate. It's got that angled return key. Everything else is the same. Of course, all old Apple keyboards have the nub on the D instead of the F and the K instead of the J, which I really don't like. It's the power button, I'm pretty sure, that actually powers on the computer. Apparently just an Apple keyboard, back when they used to make stuff in the USA, including this computer. So, now we're going to open it. Now, somebody somewhere is going to yell at me for doing this, but oh, what's that? Why, yes, I believe it was serviced by AppleCare. This Macintosh II has a 40 megabyte hard disk, or that's at least what this implies. Last service, May of '94. So I wonder if I can actually look that up. Probably not. Take a look at the ports before we take it apart. We have a speaker jack, 2 Apple Desktop Plus ports, printer port, and I guess some sort of communication port. That's SCSI. That's the video card. So as you can see, there's probably some PCI or ISA or whatever this thing uses. Ports here. These little things look like they're going to pop off. That's the power supply. Re-perch the camera. Now there's little buttons here. I guess they're so that you can take the back off. I don't know, maybe. But chances are, it's probably a screw right here that opens it. Well, like I said, I didn't go on to iFixit to look up how to take this thing apart, which actually is a really good idea, by the way. There's even like iFixit pages of people taking apart the original Macintosh. That's a speaker right there. So that's cool. It's actually not yellow on the bottom. There's no, you know, sun got to it or anything. Oh, there's some information on the bottom you might want to look at. Macintosh II, Apple Computer Inc., Cupertino, California, made in the USA.
And it's all the stuff. FCCAD. Not really important, and there's some chocolate there, or at least I hope that's chocolate.
Oh, easier than I thought. Or maybe, holy mother of God, that drive is big. Wait a minute. Is that a quantum Bigfoot again? There's my floppy disk. I don't know what to do from this point forward. I'm probably going to break something. Hey, if this was yours, you'd probably do the same thing, right?
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Oh, God. Oh, God! Well, these old Macs, they're tough. They can take it. And if they can't, well, they're tough enough so you can fix them, at least. Maybe. Help. Okay, it didn't sound good, but it came off. Actually, I did break a tab. Sue me. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so this is a quantum, probably Bigfoot, I guess. It's the same size. It's a 5.5 1/4 inch drive. It actually has a "Don't touch me, I'm hot" symbol. No, I touched it, it's not that hot. But I'd believe it. I could probably imagine this thing getting pretty hot. It's our 3.5 inch drive. Apparently only goes up to, can only read 800K discs. It's one of those drives with the audio eject mechanism, and I'm just so glad it works. Obviously there's no secondary drive. Apparently this wasn't configured with one. And of course, one thing of beauty right here. The video card. It's long as hell. Got a little bit more light on the scene. Oh, this was the thing that was rattling around in there. This was supposed to be in here, so I wouldn't try to do what I did. Push the thing in there and thinking that probably somebody tried to jam a disc in there and it didn't work and this broke off inside. The thing wouldn't have happened to me if that were the case. Ooh, interesting. Inside of the uppercase here, February 13th, 1988 in permanent marker. Apparently that's when it got built. Or at least the day that guy decided to write that on there. As we get a little closer, we can see these, whatever the hell they are. I've never seen them before. Slots 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are what's known as N-U-Bus. N-U-B-U-S. Sort of like new metal, except it's a bus. So I've never heard of that in my entire life. Small chance that you may have, but probably not. So that's interesting. I have to admit that I don't have any new bus cards except for that one. So this is definitely a first. As for things that are underneath this, that would take a little bit more of a tear apart that I'm really not willing to do at this point. The main reason I wanted to take this thing apart in the first place was just because, get the cord out of there we go, was because, you know, it's big. It's built more like a PC, so you can sort of see what's inside, and it's not as much of an item that needs to be cherished as, say, one of the like original Macintosh sort of things. You can see that there's definitely some more stuff in there. You can see there's a pillar that holds up this. Yeah, there's not. I gotta say, there's probably not a lot of good ways to see inside there, but I'm presuming that that's where the processor is. That's where the RAM is, and other stuff. If you want to upgrade it, I'm not gonna go in there and tear it apart there, because they're probably already gonna have some die-hard Mac fanatics gonna be hunting down the streets for defiling such a magnificent piece of hardware here. And, you know, this is the front of the computer without the top on and without the iconic dual floppy drives. And that's where it goes back on right there. This is the floppy cable. You know, the cable here starts to resemble, you know, a little bit like IDE. But, you know, it's scuzzy, you know, according to the specifications. It's actually a little bit wider, but, you know. So yeah, that's it. That's the Macintosh Plus. If you guys have any other ideas of what I should do with this, I guess besides installing an SSD into it, because it already has a bumping hard drive. I mean, this thing is huge. I mean, this is bigger than the Quantum Bigfoot. Like, I gotta tell you that right now. This is before the Bigfoot line existed. This is actually a little bit thicker than the Quantum Bigfoot. This is a beast. You know it's a beast when you have to put in your power cable vertically. That's when you know you're dealing with something that came from the 5 1/4 inch era. You know what I'm saying? Probably not, but you know, whatever. So let's see if I can put this back on here without breaking anything else. The tabs on the front. Word to the wise, don't do what I did and break them. The other one looks like it's about to break. Looks like it has a thing, and then the other one is fine. So it's probably not going to go on as good as it originally did back in 1988, but you know, it's the future, man. Another interesting detail. These little new bus connectors are connectors. They hold the card in place. It actually seems like it's a little bit, almost seems like it would be a little bit more secure, a little better than, I don't know, PCI? The screw actually goes in vertically rather than horizontally, so that's kind of interesting. But if you try to screw in something, I don't know how you're going to screw it in there like that. It's just like, it's not going to work. You'd have to like start from the bottom and move your way up and then pull these out, and then I think these are actually hooked in to those plastic pieces I showed you earlier. Something here wrapped in plastic. I don't know what that is. Probably just insulated. This is a fascinating piece of work here, I'll tell you. Of course, we have the power supply on the far side. Really, really long. It's just this whole thing. Apple computer, something or other. Always turn power off and wait for 5 minutes before removing or installing peripheral interface cards in the peripheral I/O slots. Failure to do so will result in damage to your system and will void your warranty. It doesn't say may. Failure to do so may result in damage to your system. It says will result in damage to your system and will void your warranty. There's no room for deviation or other possibilities. It will. So good thing we didn't do that. Yeah. Copyright 1987, Apple Computer Inc. And it's hot. It's totally not right now, but it was, I guess, maybe. People were like, you think people would be more used to like, you know, opening cars and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be way hotter than this. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. See if I can put this back on here. Gently. That doesn't look right. I'm trying to do this while sort of dodging around the camera here, so maybe we can do it. Oh. And don't tell me I'm being too rough on the hard drive. That thing's a beast. And then one more thing we can look at. Side. Something you'll remember from a previous video. Reset button. And programmer's debug or interrupt switch for whatever. So that's it. That's the Macintosh II. And like I said, if you have any ideas or ways to potentially break even more tabs, let me know. Don't really have any special goofy hardware things I can do besides just take a look at this. Probably something that somebody else has done at some point. But yeah, there you have it. I don't actually have the mouse that came with it. have an original Macintosh mouse, but I don't think that'll actually work with this. Not unless I have another new bus card to get it working. So for those of you who are wondering why I haven't come out with a G4 Cube video yet, it's currently enjoying its throne at the moment. This has been Draga1, signing off.